All right, everyone. Welcome to another Asset Mule office hour. If you're a returning visitor, good to see you again. And if you're new, welcome. Uh, we usually spend these 30 minutes or so diving into some really interesting topics around sales assets. And today we've got one that I think many product marketers and salespeople out there would be really interested in, and that's how to build a one pager that converts. Just to introduce myself, I'm Justin Dorfman. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO here at Asset Mule, and really excited to dive into this topic. I think it's a hot one. We know that one pagers can be quite controversial, funny enough. Product marketers, I think, are constantly getting requests from salespeople for different types of one pagers. We also hear from salespeople that one pagers that are delivered to them might not be effective or might not be useful. So there's also a reputation for some of these one pagers not to be used as widely as maybe they should be. And I think it all comes down to the fact that somewhere along the lines we kind of lost the meaning of the one pager, or lost track of what the purpose of a one pager is. I think uh, very frequently in this day and age, they're used as sort of tactical checkboxes in your sales process, right? You follow up with a prospect or you do outreach to a prospect and you just attach a one pager. And it's really, a tactical touch point, but not something that really delivers value to the salesperson and more importantly to the buyer, right? Or the prospect on the other side. So today, what I really want to dive into is reimagining what one pagers are and what they can be, and revisiting sort of the original purpose of the one pager. And in my mind, that's to uh, enable our sales team to provide our buyers with relevant, interesting, and personalized information that can demonstrate to them how the salesperson and the company that the salesperson works for can solve their issues and overcome their pain points and ultimately deliver value to them. And again, the purpose of these one pagers at the end of the day is really to engage buyers and ultimately to convert those buyers in either into a next meeting or the next stage of a buying process, or ultimately into a closed one opportunity. So we're going to be diving into Asset Mule today and taking a look at how one can reimagine these one pagers to be more personalized, to be more engaging, and also to be more trackable so that we can see what's going on the other side, which I think in this remote selling world, this remote first world that we live in now, is increasingly important. So I'm going to dive in and show a couple examples of one pagers. And if you have any questions throughout the screen share, feel free to add them in the comments. And I'm going to leave time at the end, a good 10 minutes or so, to go through any of the questions and we can dive into anything in more detail. But without further ado, let's dive in. And I'm going to share my screen. And again, I'm going to go through a couple examples of one pagers that really take things to the next level. They go beyond those static, generic black box PDFs that again have sort of become that tactical checkbox in a sales process, and dive into really these personalized, interactive, and trackable one pagers that are designed to engage and convert buyers. So for those that aren't familiar with Asset Mule and who we are, what we do, at a very, very high level, we make it super quick and easy for product marketers and sales teams to build interactive sales assets. And again, with the goal of engaging and converting buyers. And as you'll see here in our template library, we have a bunch of templates that you can actually use from the get-go to start building out your sales asset library. This includes one pagers and some of those that we'll go through today, but also templates for more specific activities like outbound and follow up and event follow up. But also your usual suspects, the case studies and the competitive comparison pages, the sales decks, the proposals, and even post-sales assets like getting started guides and new feature one pagers and so on. So all of these are available for you to use and make your own from, really streamlining that process. And we also give you the ability to create your own custom templates really easily through a drag and drop interface and a library of pre-designed components that you can use to assemble these assets. But again, the topic today are one pagers. So I'm going to walk through 3 different one pagers that really take things to the next level and are reimagining the purpose here. And each one of these one pagers, again, are available in our library. You can build from them. But also, they kind of have different purposes and have different levels of personalization. So I'm going to go from the more generalized one pager to a more specific one pager, a more personalized one pager, and then finally to the most personalized one pager. And I'll talk about the different purposes of these one pagers. And I'm going to show you the versions that we've built here at Asset Mule for our own usage with our content in there so you can see what a real live asset, a one pager looks like. So the first one pager that I'm going to walk through today is the Asset Mule one pager. And this is kind of your standard, high level walkthrough of your offering, the value you provide, the success your customers are getting from using your solution. And again, in a more interactive and engaging and high converting way. So you'll see it in the library, and to use it, you can copy it and again, add your content. But I'm going to switch over here to our team library, where I'm going to show you the version that we use here at Asset Mule. And I'm going to walk you through it top to bottom. So again, the purpose of these assets is really to drive engagement. And one of the ways to do that is to personalize them. And as I mentioned, this is maybe the lightest touch of personalization, where we're just throwing in a prospect's logo here, to sort of catch their attention and give them that little touch of personalization. But the templates that I'll show you after this, we go a little deeper than that. But just going top to bottom, you'll see here we've got our main value statement, really helping our prospect understand who we are, what we do, and how we can help them, including who we're built for, right? And then instead of a static screenshot of our product or sort of a video, a usual sort of product video, what we've done is we've actually embedded a interactive product demo into our asset. In this case, we're using StoryLane, and you'll see we have a StoryLane component that you can use here, where you can just, if you're a StoryLane user, you can just add the URL for your demo that you want to embed in your one pager, and it'll be in there for your prospects to engage with. If you're not a StoryLane user, StoryLane does offer a free forever tier where you can build your first demo for free, and you can sign up using the CTA button here and really build your demo in a couple of minutes that you can start embedding in your one pagers. Now, if you're not a StoryLane user and you use some other type of interactive demo product, or if you don't want to use an interactive demo and you want to include a product video instead, you can actually just delete this component from the one pager template. Instead, choose the video component or the embed code component for embedding other interactive demos like Novatic demos, Walnut demos, and so on. Continuing going down, now we want to add some social proof here, right? So we add some logos in here of relevant customers and prospects. And this is one of the areas where you can actually personalize a little bit further. Any content you have in an Asset Mule template, you can save as what we call a snippet, which is sort of pre-approved content that a salesperson can swap in and out to make it more relevant for a prospect. So in this case, we may be targeting SMB, B2B tech companies. So we've got a string of relevant logos that we can use here. But if we're going after enterprise B2B tech companies, or if we're going after companies in a different industry, we can save these logo strings or these logo grids as snippets that the sales team can pull in and make the one pager more relevant for their particular prospects. Continuing down, now we have some feature highlights that we can show here. And again, these can be saved as snippets as well, so that if you're showing 4 different feature highlights, maybe the ones that are in the template by default are the ones that you want to show, or maybe there are specific other things that might be relevant for a particular prospect. You can swap in the right feature descriptions and corresponding product images to make it more relevant for your prospect. Continuing down, we've got the customer quote, again, adding more social proof here to the one pager. And again, the ability to pull in snippets by the persona or the industry or the specific use case that the quote talks about becomes really, really valuable for personalizing your one pager. And then again, restating who this is built for. In our case with Asset Mule, it's product marketers, it's sales teams, it's sales enablement managers. So really giving them that sense that it's for them and how they can use it and who else on their team might be interested in partnering with them on your solution and advocating it. And then finally, we talked about at the very beginning, these one pagers are designed to be high converting one pagers. So instead of them just being, that PDF that you send over and hope that the prospect responds, embedding your calendar or your sales team's calendars in these one pagers so that prospects can book meetings right from the one pager is really, really powerful. We see up to 3 times more conversions from doing this versus that static standardized PDF that you might be using today. And again, you can save all of your sales teams calendars as snippets. We're just using our embed code component here and grabbing that embed code from Calendly. But in your case, if you're using HubSpot's scheduler or a scheduler from a different tool, you can just grab the embed code, populate it in here, save it as a snippet for each of your salespeople, and they can pull in their calendar when sending this out. So that's the standard interactive one pager. And again, it's available in our template library. But I want to talk about the next level of personalization now and a specific use case that we're using it for, and that's outbound. So, if you're doing outbound, maybe not at a high volume level, but maybe you're doing an account-based marketing and sales strategy, and you have 50 accounts that you're going after, or 100 accounts that you're going after. And for each of your sales team members and your SDRs, maybe they're going after 20 to 30 of those accounts, or maybe 50 of those accounts. Doing highly personalized outbound really delivers a next degree of conversions. So you'll see here some templates that you can use to build an outbound one pager. We have 3 different versions: outbound with product video, where we have our component for embedding a product video, and then the outbound with interactive demo. And again, I'm going to hop over to our version that we use here at Asset Mule and kind of walk you through it. So again, we start from the top with that personalization of adding their logo. But in this case, we're taking it one step further, where we can also put in the prospect's name and maybe a little message for them. And then also, we add that human touch here by putting a quick 30-second Loom video. And when we talk about personalization here, again, it's up to you what level of personalization you want to do. If you want to go highly personalized, you can put the specific prospect's name and do a video for each one of the prospects that you're reaching out to. If you want to do maybe a little bit less personalized because you're doing a larger volume of outreach, maybe you say, hey, company name team, right? Like, hey, HubSpot team, if I'm reaching out to HubSpot, and you have a video that is not specific to a particular prospect or a contact within that account, but again, speaks to the entire HubSpot team and how you think you can help them. Continuing down, again, we've got the logos here, and now we want to get to the problem that we believe this account that we're going after has, right? And then how your solution solves that particular problem, right? Really to capture their interest and their attention. And again, we want to show it in action, right? We don't just want to include screenshots here. We want them to be able to touch and feel and really understand how your product works to solve that particular pain point. So in this case, again, we're adding the StoryLane interactive demo, or the Novatic interactive demo, the Walnut interactive, and the HowToGo interactive demo. Whichever interactive product tool you use, you can embed in here for them to take a tour. Of course, they want to know the type of results that folks are experiencing using your solution. So adding some key metrics here is really, really valuable. And then again, having that social proof of a quote that speaks to their persona, maybe speaks to their particular situation or their industry. Again, pulling from the snippet library can be really valuable for that. And then what I also like to do is add a couple of other resources for them to check out and really explore things further before committing to talk to me. So, a link to the website, a link to, in our case, our template library so they can see what type of templates we have, link to our pricing so that we can be really upfront in terms of how much this thing is going to cost. In our case, very low cost. You can start for free and $50 a month, right? So we really want to make it clear that it's really easy for them to get started. And again, all you have to do to add these link blocks is add some text, choose an icon to go along with that link block, and then add the URL to it so that they can click through to it. And then finally here, that calendar again embedded in here so that they can take action on that interest, right? And they can actually book a meeting with the salesperson right from the outbound one pager. So that's the second example that I wanted to walk through today. And in the final example, and we'll actually create an asset from this so that you can see the full process, how the sales team personalizes it, how they share it, how they then track it. But the third use case here, and again, this is another deeper level of personalization, is our follow-up assets, our follow-up one-pagers, right? So in this case, the salesperson has probably already had either a discovery call or a demo with the prospect. They have more information about them, what their specific needs, challenges, problems that they want solved are, right? And they can personalize this to the next level. And it's worth doing so because then that prospect and hopefully, in the future, the champion can start sharing it internally and the story can be told across the various stakeholders here. So you'll see, again, 3 different versions that you can dive into: the follow-up with product video, and the follow-up with interactive demo. And again, I'm going to hop over to our version here that we use here at Asset Mule. Again, I'm sending these after demos usually, with really highlighting sort of how we can help the prospects solve the specific pain points they shared with me. And again, I'll add their logo in here. I'll add their name. Actually, what we do here is I'll actually create an asset for this from this so that you can see how I actually step through the process. So what I would do is I would go here and, knowing that I want to use that template, I'm going to go ahead and create an asset from it. And again, all the information's here for me to work from. And then let's say I'm going after Gong, right? So I'm going to call this Asset Mule for Gong. And then I'm going to add their logo in here. And what I can do is actually do this really easily just by putting in gong.io, clicking get logos. And now it gives me a series of logos just like that I can just pull in. And then, maybe it's a specific person, Jane at Gong. So I can, add her name in here. Sometimes I like to personalize this message a little bit more if there's specific things I want to call out. And then also I love to do these 30 to 40-second Loom videos. Really easy to do. And then you just throw in the Loom link here and embed it into the one pager. And then here's that next level of personalization, right? I just jumped off a call with them. I have a sense of what their priorities, what their challenges are. So what I have some placeholder text here that I can use if there's nothing specific I want to call out, but I can also, and what I like to do is make this a little bit more personalized, list those 4 or 5 bullet points of what they're trying to achieve. And then again, have some standard text here in terms of how Asset Mule can generally help our ICP, but specifically for them, maybe there's some adaptations that I want to make here to make it more specific to them. And that's really it in terms of the level of personalization. It takes, a good, 10 minutes to do this. That's it. But then we have our interactive demo again, that we can, they can really take the tour of the product. And then those metrics, very similar to the outbound one pager, the social proof with the quote, right? Since I'm following up now after a call and I have a deeper sense of what they're looking for and what they're trying to do, maybe I add a couple more links than what I had in the outbound template, right? Maybe in addition to the website and the template library and the pricing, maybe I know that they're interested in getting some additional support. So I include my professional services one pager in here. Or maybe I know that they're going to try and sign up for our free tier and give it a go. So I give our, getting started guide in here. But I've also included things like, the Zoom link so that they can recap our recording and the recording of the demo and so on. And then finally, again, making it really easy for them to jump on a call with me if they want to discuss next steps, if they have any further questions, if they want to introduce our solution to any additional stakeholders that they're going to be sharing this to. My calendar is right here for them to book. So that's the asset here. And then what I do now as the salesperson is I can go ahead and save this. I can preview it before sending it out, making sure that everything looks good here. My video, the interactive demo, everything's loading properly, and everything looks good to go. And then the way that the salesperson would share it is they can share it as a link in a screenshot, or the most popular, because it really does drive more conversions, is this link and animated screenshot. So you just click on that, head over to your email tool, Gmail, or could be a sales outreach tool like Outreach.io or SalesLoft or Apollo. And then just, as they write their email, they can just plug that in there. And you'll see it generates this nice scroll through screenshot GIF, really, that really captures the prospect's attention, right? They can see their logo, they can see their name, they can see there's a video in there for them. And when they click through it, this is what the one pager is going to look like. It's a live web-based one pager with the video that they can watch and with the interactive demo that they can take a tour through. And all the assets that they can go ahead and click through to, like, the template library and the uh, pricing page and so on. And then finally, when they're ready, they can go ahead and book a meeting, either by using the calendar or the book a meeting button here. And what's awesome about this, again, I think we've showed at this point, how we're making these one pagers more personalized, how we're making them more engaging with video and interactive demos, how we're making them higher converting with the calendars. But the next thing is, also making them more visible in terms of analytics and buying intent and all that stuff, right? So as prospects are engaging with these interactive one pagers, we're giving the salesperson a signal saying, hey, somebody just viewed your Asset Mule for Gong one pager. There's life on the other side, there's interest, right? But within Asset Mule as well, we're allowing you to track every interaction that prospect had. They viewed the asset, they clicked on the video, they clicked on the demo, they browsed some of the additional resources that you put in there, like the template library and the pricing, and they even clicked the book a meeting button. Maybe they booked the meeting, or maybe they didn't yet, and that's a reason to follow up, right? So you're really enabling your sales team with signals that will help them determine who's interested, who to prioritize, how to engage them. But also, as the product marketer building these assets, you're getting a sense of which templates your sales team is using the most, and which of the assets are driving the most engagement, and what's really driving engagement with your buyers, so that you can optimize your assets going forward. So that, again, is the walkthrough today of how to build one pagers that convert. And again, we walked through 3 templates that are available for you. The Asset Mule one pager, which is a high level one pager with a little bit of personalization there, but also some interactive elements like the interactive demo and elements to convert book meetings like the calendar. We then went through the next level of personalization with our outbound template with interactive demo, where we go beyond just their logo to calling them out by name and having a little video in there. And then finally, to the even more personalized version, which is the follow-up with interactive demo, where again, we had the logo, we had the call out and the video, but we also restated their priorities and goals that we learned from the demo or the call that we had with them. And we also restated how we believe we can help them with a couple bullet points alongside the interactive demo, the additional links to other assets that they can engage with and explore, and finally, the calendar to book a meeting. So with that, I'm going to pause here and see if there are any questions. Doesn't look like we have any questions right now. So one last thing that I want to show you before we end the call here today is as you're building out your various assets that include one pagers, but maybe other types of assets, one really powerful thing that you can do within Asset Mule is organize these assets, right? And you can organize them in different way. The templates, you can organize them by adding tags to them. So within each of the templates, you'll see a template setting where you can add tags like one pager, case study, the type of asset, or maybe an industry that you're going after, or a particular persona that it's built for, right? But what you can also do is organize your assets by the stage of the buyer's journey so that your sales team knows which templates to use when and are engaging your buyers in the right way throughout the sales process. So as you apply these tags, when you go back, when the salesperson goes to the team section of the templates page and is browsing through the various templates, they can search them by name. They can filter by those tags again to see the one pagers if they want, right? But they can also toggle to the buyer's journey view, and here they can actually see which templates are available for them. And depending on what stage they're at, they can find the right ones, whether it's the outbound asset or the one pagers that are in the awareness stage, or the case studies and the competitive pages that are in the consideration stage, or the proposals templates that are available to them all the way through to templates post sale. So just wanted to point that out. Beyond creating one pagers and case studies and so on, you can also use Asset Mule as your centralized system of record for your sales assets, where everything's available, organized for your sales team to access and use, and then also measure and get buying signals from them. So any other questions here? Any final questions? If there aren't any, if this is interesting to you and you want to give Asset Mule a try, I mentioned earlier that we have a free forever tier. You can sign up. It gives you the ability to create 3 live assets. You can invite as many users. You can create as many templates. You can create as many snippets. There's no sort of caps on that. It's just the number of live assets that you have out there being tracked. So it gives you 3 for free that you can manage at any given time. You can delete ones you don't need anymore, free up space for new ones. But that should really give you a go. You have access to the full template library. You can build some of those one pagers that I showed you here today. And then if you want to take things to the next level, our first paid tier starts with 50 live assets and is $50 a month. And then you can add buckets of 50 more assets from there. So it's really, really easy to get started. No strings attached. You can go in without a credit card and give this a go for yourself. And you can do that at assetmule.ai. But also, if you just want to sort of follow us along, learn more from us, engage with us, follow us on LinkedIn. We're Asset Mule on LinkedIn. You can follow me as well. I love sharing insights that I'm seeing and hearing from our customers and from product marketers and salespeople. So you can definitely follow along there. And again, we do this every week on different topics. So if you see a topic that we're covering and it interests you, you can always sign up again for the weekly office hours, and we're happy to engage with you and share all the insights and knowledge that we have here every week. So without further ado, if there aren't any other questions, thanks again for tuning in today, and we hope to see you again in a future office hour. Take care.